The woman took off her gloves. Only 3 fingers were revealed surprisingly. Then she removed her shoes and only 1 toe was there astonishingly. Next, she pulled off the wig from her head, transforming into a bald person. She instructed other women in the audience to do the same while she walked to the podium, opening her mouth, revealing dozens of teeth. The group of witches finally showed their true faces gathering in this hall, discussing their plan to eliminate all the children in the world. Because witches inherently despise the smell of children, so the Grand Hyatt Witch developed a magic potion, dropping the liquid from the bottle into food, deceiving children into drinking it, turning them all into mice to be eaten. Unexpectedly, there was a boy hiding under the podium, carefully concealing his pet Miles in his arms. From the gaps in the wooden boards, he saw the witch eating bugs pulled from her scalp. The boy was scared, holding his breath, but unable to control the smell on his body. The witch on top smelled her nostrils, instantly enlarging, following the scent upwards. She confirmed the stench was coming from under the podium, and Rage Witch flipped the podium over, smashing it to pieces, but found nothing. The boy had already hidden in the nearby ventilation duct. A boy, hiding under the podium in a hotel conference room, watched in horror as the woman on stage removed her gloves, revealing only 3 fingers. Then she took off her shoes, showing a single, misshapen toe. Finally, she ripped off her wig, becoming completely bald. She was a witch. She commanded the other women in the audience to do the same, and soon the hall was filled with their true, monstrous forms. The Grand High Witch then revealed her plan: to eliminate all the children in the world by using a magic potion that would turn them into mice. The boy, trying to hold his breath, was discovered when the witches smelled his child stench. He barely escaped into a ventilation duct. Another boy wasn't so lucky. He was lured by a witch with magical chocolate and was transformed into a mouse right before the hidden boy's eyes, only to be tragically trampled. The witches soon found the first boy and dragged him out. They forced a grape-flavored potion into his ear. In a puff of purple smoke, he shrank, grew fur, and also became a little mouse. With the help of his own pet mouse, he managed to escape through the vents and find his way to his grandmother's hotel room. His grandmother, a wise woman who believed in witches, was shocked but believed his story. Together, they hatched a plan. Using a half-knitted sock as a lift, the mouse boy was lowered onto the balcony of the witch's room to steal the potion. He succeeded, but the attempt to create an antidote failed. So, the boy had a new, daring idea. Instead of saving himself, he would use the potion against the witches. He sneaked into the hotel kitchen and poured the entire bottle into the soup meant for the witches' dinner. That evening, the mouse boy and his grandmother watched from a hiding spot as the witches ate the soup. One by one, they convulsed, shot into the air, and transformed into mice. The Grand High Witch, enraged, confronted the grandmother, but the mouse boy tricked her into drinking the last of the potion, turning her into a giant mouse as well. The day was saved. While the boy remained a mouse, his grandmother found the formula for the antidote, giving them hope for the future. In a separate, terrifying ordeal, 2 friends, Becky and her best friend, climbed a 600-meter abandoned signal tower for fun. At the top, their excitement turned to horror when the ladder they used collapsed, leaving them stranded. Their situation was desperate. Their cell phones had no signal. They tried everything: lowering a phone on a rope, throwing a shoe with a phone inside to the ground, and screaming for help at a man below. Nothing worked. The man even stole their car and drove away. At night, they fired a signal flare, which the man saw, but he still did nothing to help them. Driven by thirst after days stranded, the best friend made a desperate gamble. She tied herself to a safety rope and climbed down to retrieve a backpack that had fallen onto a lower platform. It contained water and a drone. The mission was successful, but the effort was exhausting and extremely dangerous. It was then that a horrifying truth was revealed. The intense trauma and dehydration had caused Becky to hallucinate. Her best friend had actually fallen and died during the initial attempt to get the backpack. Becky had been alone on the tower the entire time, talking to a ghost in the inanimate backpack. The shock of this realization jolted Becky into a fierce will to survive. When a vulture landed to scavenge, she fought it off and ate it for sustenance. Summoning all her courage, she then secured a rope and made the perilous climb down the tower herself. She reached the bottom, finally standing beside her friend's body. The story ends with Becky alive, but having faced unimaginable horror, her fate unknown as she stared at the grim reality of her situation. I must survive. After eating, she untied the safety rope, climbed down the only remaining ladder, and then fastened the safety buckle to the bottom iron bar. Then she dropped the safety rope and began to slide down rapidly. This time, Becky didn't hesitate anymore. She moved very quickly and slid to the end of the rope. She decisively unscrewed the safety buckle and bravely jumped onto the iron sheet. Looking at her best friend's already rotten body, she was filled with mixed feelings. But what she was going to do next was even more unbelievable for myself.